Okay. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's me, Tevra Francis of NJ in Color. I am doing this on a Thursday night. We don't usually do this on Thursdays or at night, actually, because it's time to eat dinner. It's time to get the baby washed up and into bed and all those good things. But we did this special viewing of NJ in Color Live because we wanted to talk to all three of the members of the EPE Teaneck team. They are candidates running for Teaneck Board of Education, and we wanted to talk to them. So as we know, educators and those who are busy with kids and everything, their days are packed. So we want to get them when we can get them. So here we are going to talk to them in just a few minutes. Thank you for joining us. And if you're not watching us live and you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook after the fact, thank you for watching. I hope you'll be able to pull some gems out of this, get some information about who you might potentially want to vote for. We'll play it by ear, and we'll hopefully be able to present with you some information that you didn't know about these candidates. Just wanted to put a few things out there. This is not an endorsement. Don't put me in the endorsement category. This is just getting more information out because that's what I do. Also, what I wanted to let you guys know is voting starts soon. So in New Jersey, early voting starts on October 28th. So if you have your ballot, your sample ballot should have come in the mail already. It'll have all the information about where you vote and where to vote early if you do vote early. And then election day, as you know, is November 7th. So yeah, get ready. If you are a voter, hooray for you. We want everybody to be an aware voter, an informed voter, an educated voter. That's why we provide forums like this so you can get to know at least some of the candidates. Don't call me for all the candidates. I can't. I don't have time. But for those that I can get a hold of, I'll present their information to you and let you make the decision. Okay. So I'm not endorsing anybody. Don't be in the endorsement category, but I just want you to be more informed as to who you're voting for in any way I can. So with that, I wanted to say a few more announcements before we get started. Again, thank you for coming on with us tonight at 7 p.m. I know this is not our usual time, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So on Saturday, October 28th, at the BLM mural in Teaneck, once again, Teaneck is just everything this week. At the BLM mural in Teaneck, we have the stroll to the polls. So if you are familiar with the stroll to the polls concept, is when all of the Black Greek letter fraternities and sororities get together and they wear all their paraphernalia and they encourage voter registration, voter education, coming out for early voting, all that fun stuff. They're not, telling you who to vote for. They just want you to vote. So in Bergen County, all of our Greek letter organizations are going to be getting together along with the Bergen County Links, the Bergen County Jack and Jill, the Bergen County NAACP, the Bergen County Mocha Moms, and this is all sponsored. Oh, and the National Coalition of 100 Black Women of Bergen County. And this was presented and put together coordinated by the Iota Epsilon Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So shout out to the women of AKA for putting this together. And so it's going to be a beautiful day. The weather forecast is going to be great. So come out. Again, it's at the BLM mural in Teaneck, and NJ in Color is a media partner in that whole thing. And we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, one more announcement as we get ready to get started. On November 4th, Saturday, November 4th at 11:30 a.m. to about 3 o'clock p.m., it's the Her Business Journey Luncheon. So this is a luncheon that has been happening for years now, and I've been to a couple. They're really great. They're really great networking opportunities. It's where you go and hear the story, the vision, the victory of women who have succeeded in business, and they're giving awards to some of the best business minds in North Jersey. So if you are interested in like growing your network or just hearing like inspiring stories of women who have faced the odds and come out, at the top of their industries, join us. It's very, it's a very impactful afternoon. I can vouch for that myself. I'm a media partner with that for NJ in Color. This is presented by Media Sense, and Wells Fargo, and it's in Hackensack at Forte Ristorante. It's fancy. So join us for that as well. All right. So once again, you are watching NJ in Color Live. If you're not watching live, you're watching after the fact. So thank you for watching. My name is Tevra Francis, publisher of NJ in Color, and we are talking with EPE. Let me see if I can bring everybody on at the same time. EPE of Teaneck. Hey, Nadia.
Hello, Tefra. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having us today. We're never.
No problem.
I'm so excited.
No problem. Thank you for being here. I'm getting everybody loaded up. Let me see if Seleene can be added. And Jose. Hello, Jose.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. Hey, Seleene, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Perfect. Hi,
Okay,
everyone.
all right. Now everybody is here. Okay, so let's do this. So first of all, I wanted to thank you all for your time. Thank you for joining me this evening for this impromptu forum, so we can get to know you as candidates for Teaneck Board of Ed. I wanted to start with something very simple, very easy. I wanted you to each introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about your background, and then tell us one fun fact. It has to be a fun fact that we should know going forward. I'm going to start with you, Nadia.
I was hoping you was not gonna start. I don't think that was fun. All right, that's all good. I'm all up for it. Nadia Hosein, living 13 years in Teaneck. I'm a teacher, a biology teacher in Wayne, New Jersey. Bachelor's degree from City College of New York, master's from in molecular biology from NYU. I got three beautiful kids. My daughter Nuri is 21. She's a William Patterson. My son is Issa, 18. I just left him in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. He's a finished basic combat training. Proud Army mom. And my daughter Samia, she's in ninth grade in Teaneck High School. So just a little bit more about me and my husband. He's like right here. He's like Shyam. He's the backbone of my family. I'm a current trustee. Was a Girl Scout troop leader, PTO mom. Very importantly, one time one vote activist because uh, we want all people in Teaneck to be in to have a say in who are council who's involved in our council. So definitely that was a important part to me. And active community member in my mosque. So that's a little bit about me. And one fun fact is when my kids were doing taekwondo, I joined them in taekwondo.
Oh, wow.
But it doesn't look like it, but yeah, that's something nobody would see me and think about. So I did taekwondo with them for a few years. Yes.
Oh, wow. So you can kick and you can also be on the Board of Ed, right?
Amen to that. Yes.
And you currently are on the Board of Education, am I right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay.
Position.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Let's go with Jose. Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. What do we need to know about you? And what's your fun fact?
Again, Jose, my fun fact.
Fun fact.
Fun facts, I play the congas and I'm teaching my son how to play the congas.
Okay.
But my family's been playing for the last 50 years, so I'm trying to pass it on. Again, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Jose Zenon. I'm running for Teaneck's Board of Education. I was born and raised across the water in the Bronx, went to public school, um, uh, went to my undergrad in the State University in Florida Atlantic University, came back here, earned my graduate degree in Rutgers, lived in New Jersey for the last 17 years, but the last 14 was in Teaneck. Wife, my 6-year-old son. I own a franchise business with my wife. Currently, I'm active in the community. I'm on the council, the advisory stigma-free council advisory board. I'm also coaching. I was also volunteering PTO in lower school. I'm also in various boards. One of them is my own school board as alumni trustee, also trustee in my church. And I director of one of the nonprofit scholarship foundation. I'm saying all that because my journey has been in youth advocacy, basically, and that's the reason I'm running for school board to continue that
No,
journey.
you're going ahead. You're going ahead. That's my next question. Hold on. Put a pin in that. Okay, Seleene, it's your turn. What do we need to know about you, and what is your fun fact, ma'am?
Sure. So again, thank you for the opportunity, Tevra, for coming on NJ in Color and welcoming my slate mates. I too was born in the Bronx, Jose. Nice to know that we're both Bronx born. My family moved over here to Teaneck in the 80s, and I was raised here in Teaneck and graduate of Teaneck High School class of 1996. I also graduated from Rampo College. I have a BA in literature. I also have a dual master's degree in special education and early child education at Touro College, and also a master's degree in administration and leadership at St. Peter's University. I currently work for the New Jersey Department of Education, Office of Early Childhood, Office of Preschool, Early Child Division. And also that I've been in education for the past 25 years. This is my 25th year in education. I have 3 kids in Teaneck Public Schools. I have a senior, a freshman in high school, and I also have a 7th grader. And we're loving our community as always. My fun fact about myself, well, I'm a certified yoga teacher. I guess that's a fun fact. I don't know if that's fun or not, but it's fun for me. I'm a lover of all music. And the most important thing is that I have a severe passion for literacy and reading. And I'm a founder and president of a nonprofit called Free Reads Educational Mentoring Program, where we promote literacy with mentorship. And of course, friendship and being social and making sure we promote literacy in our communities.
All right, great. So we are live. We're live with the EPE Teaneck candidates for Teaneck Board of Education. If you are watching now, just go ahead and share this video with someone in Teaneck, a Teaneck voter, so they can see this as well. If you're watching this after the fact, you can still share it and spread the word if you want them to get to know the EPE Teaneck crew. So what brought you guys to the name EPE? And tell me what it stands for, and then tell me how you guys got to that. Anyone can jump in and
I could kind of start.
Go ahead, Nadia.
So when we sat down and we had to come with a name to our slate, we wanted to figure out what were some of the things that spoke to us about public school and what public school should be like. So of course, number one thing was excellence, right? We think that all of our kids should have the best public school education, or the best education that schools can give them. The next one was progress. We want our curriculum to be a progressive curriculum. And I think this is something also that a lot of parents are asking of us. They're asking, so listen, this is old school. We're just current math, reading, writing, science. A lot of parents are saying, listen, we want more vocational stuff for our students, because not all of our kids want to go to college. So the progressive, we're thinking about, okay, how can we bring not just regular traditional school, but let's start focusing on other pathways to success for our students. So that's where the P for progressive is. And I can let my other slate mates come in for the equity part.
Sure, I'll take it from there. Thank you, Nadia. So, of course, like Nadia said, we wanted to represent something that spoke out to us. And, of course, excellence and progress came out. And, of course, equity, too. Equity was very important to make sure there is fairness amongst every single student that is in Teaneck Public Schools, and making sure that each child has an opportunity to succeed. And we never want a child to grow older and they say, well, I never had the opportunity. We don't want that to happen in Teaneck. We want to make sure that our students are getting equal treatment and also capable of all the knowledge that they can possess while they are in our schools. And that's where the equity comes in. Jose, you want to take it away?
Yeah. I mean, as my 2 running mates just mentioned, it's encompassing everything in regards to making sure that we address the current issue and then the future issue. And one of the things as far as equity, just want to emphasize that it's not only equity in race, it's equity in everything that student goes through in journey, whether it's learning, whether it's learning different languages, whether it's
Mhm.
equity in the staff and teacher, whether it's equity in our policy. So it encompasses everything to make sure that everybody that's touching the students really have high expectations in those areas. Excellent progress.
Got it. Okay, so Jose, you were starting to touch on this next question. What part of your experience made you decide to become a candidate for a board of ed? So, at what point did you decide? Okay, I think I need to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring. Was there a turning point? Was there a specific incident? Was it your time having children in Teaneck schools? Tell us about like why you decided to run.
Well, I was always involved in the community, and obviously my son inspired me because now I'm becoming more of an advocate parent. And I understand that if that parent is not really involved or engaged, that student could fall through the gap. And then also, as I was doing coaching throughout the years, a lot of the things when I coach the students, a lot of the things they learn and habits are coming from the school system. Besides,
Mm-hmm.
that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I said, you know what, for me to make change, or because I used to log in the board or go to board meetings. I said for me to really impact change, I have to be involved. So it was like a natural extension of my youth advocacy to really get involved in one of the most important thing in a youth lives, and that's education. To
Okay.
inspire me to at least run with these two uh, well qualified slate mates
Yeah.
to make change.
Thank you. Seleene, what about you?
Well, again, just like my slate mate, that I've always been involved in my community. It started from just being a resident here and wanting to see my culture and my community representative in Juneteenth. And so I've been very active in making sure that Juneteenth represented in Teaneck, and that's when I started, along with a couple of residents, started Juneteenth Teaneck, and how we just gathered together every Juneteenth, and we also pay homage to our ancestors that were in Teaneck, and so that just kind of spread. And also, of course, being an advocate for literacy, volunteering for our wonderful town library all the time,
Mhm.
also making sure that we are a rich culture in literacy in our town. Make sure every student knows that there's books around the corner that is free. And I'm still getting that started, by the way. So after the election, I'm still getting started making sure we have books in our parks and that's accessible for everyone. So really being an advocate for our community, and also because of my background and experience in education, I thought it was definitely time for me to support my community in that effort.
And Nadia, you?
Mine's actually really simple. Just being engaged with my kids and seeing what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
So what I realized was, as a parent, I felt like there are certain things that the school should have, that the school, I wanted from the school district, that they were simply that we fall short in. And one is communication.
Mm-hmm.
So I really felt like Jose, echo Jose's sentiment, that I want to be that force of change that brings this about. So currently, this is one thing. When I came into the board in January, we started talking to this with our superintendent, that look, we need to have more communication with parents. So just from me being involved with my kids, I realized that, look, these are the things that our district needs to improve in. And this is, I know it because I'm a parent, and this is how, let's try to target it together. So I wanted to be that positive voice for change in the
Mm-hmm.
school district. So communication is one thing. And just also, I remember last year talking to Ed Ha, he's a current trustee, that we wanted to have an associate's degree in our school. And thankfully, our superintendent he's working, he has that, and it's started to be implemented where our high school students now can have their associate's degree when they graduate from high school. So those were the kind of things that I saw, and then I realized that other people have that vision. So I'm like, I want to be part of that and help bring that about in the school.
So what you just said about wanting to improve communication and involvement with parents. So if you are elected or reelected, what is one thing that you definitely want to work towards changing? I know you guys, you're a slate together, but I know you all have your individual goals. So tell us, like, what is one major thing that you really hope to change if you are elected to Teaneck Board of Ed?
I can go for this one. I definitely believe that overall that we really want to improve. I really want to improve parent involvement and parent engagement in the schools, and that's not just from the parents, but also making sure that the schools are inviting the parents, making sure the communication as well, like Nadia was speaking about, making sure we have very clear communication. Building relationships with the parents is very important, and we need to start and begin that in preschool. Once we get that in preschool, it will be carried out throughout, all the way to 12th grade, and continue that involvement throughout the school years. That's something that encourages our children. Once we are involved in our children's lives, we see the children see value in themselves, and they will want to continue going to school. They'll want to continue doing well in school. They'll feel that their parents care, and they become more engaged themselves. So increasing parent involvement is something that I really, really want to touch on, and really hope that parents will step up and try to do that. And I know everyone has very busy lives. No one could busy as us four. We're all busy people, but our children are very important, and we need to know that education of our children is extremely important. So definitely that.
Can I add one more to what?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
So just to piggyback to add to what Seleene is saying, also math. Our district is doing okay in math. We could do, there's a room for improvement, right? And so I think that I would like to see our math, especially at elementary and middle school, for there to be a more solid foundation in math, especially because kids develop something called a math phobia. So sometimes as they go to seventh and eighth grade, they become more fearful when they see numbers. Like if they see graphs, anything looks even hard, as there we go, anything a little bit hard, they just shut down without even giving it some try, right? So I really want to see, especially elementary and middle school, we engage in more math and mathematical thinking with our students, because I was very saddened to hear this mom say, like, look, my son couldn't graduate college because he couldn't do the math classes. She said he was just so fearful of math that he couldn't graduate. I'm like, that's horrible. How would you, just to let a math class hold you back? So as a district, I think we really need to empower our students, especially girls, empower them in math and critical thinking. So this way, for them, the sky's the limit when they graduate. They could do whatever they want and don't feel intimidated just by numbers. So that's one thing
So,
I'd like to see.
so I'm smiling because I clam up when if you show me a fraction, I just go into a shell.
There
And
you go.
also, my degree is in clinical psychology, but yeah, I almost didn't get through because of statistics. So that was horrible. So yeah, math is pretty much a sticking point for a lot of people, and they really don't get over it. So if you can catch that early, and get students more comfortable with math and with percentages and all of the things that we need going forward in whatever careers we choose, that would be a great thing. Jose, what are some of the things, or at least one thing that you really want to change if you're elected?
I think I don't want to steal Seleene. That's one of the core, but my thing is academic achievement. But I think that if you're going after the academic achievement, you have to change the culture.
I was just going to ask you that. That seems like a. Did we lose Jose?
Hello?
There you are. Uh-huh.
Academic achievement, you have to change the culture from the teachers, the staff, and the students, but you really have to engage the parents, because when we talk about these different factors as far as closing the gap, involving other things, the parents has to be a core, factor in that success. And I think that's a disconnect sometimes, because the parents don't, you people always say you have to, what's the quote they use now? Election has consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Engagement has consequences too. The
Mm-hmm.
parents is engaged, the more impactful that student have challenges, and once they leave the school, they go home. So
Yeah.
if that's not being emphasized of what the school is doing, it becomes a challenge. So my thing is academic achievement, but you have to get to the core. My slate mate that has to start from the from preschool, where you involvement the parents, them to the journey as far as their education.
Gotcha. So if you're watching, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. We have a few comments. Audrey Hill says, totally agree. Family and community engagement is vital. Thank you, Audrey. Javon Rami Rice. Hey, Javon. Great candidates for Teaneck's BOE. And then we have an actual, I guess, comment. Thanks for hosting this. I live in Teaneck and saw a BOE campaign sign the other day and was wondering who they are excluding. Okay. I can't read. And was wondering who they are excluding. Seleene Raquel, whom I know. Is there an issue with the signs in Teaneck? No?
No.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you for that comment. So each of you spoke about parental involvement. And it's one thing to say it. And now that I have a child, I understand that it's hard sometimes to be involved. You have to really push yourself. How are you, if elected or reelected, how are you going to really enforce, or not to say enforce, but strongly encourage parents to now participate, if they have not been, now participate in the education of their children? How are you going to change that culture? It's one thing to say it, but how do you plan to actually do it?
I can go for that. So, one thing, like I said before, it does begin with the schools. It's how we inviting our parents into the schools. And so, again, going back to that communication piece, sending out emails, not only emails, making phone calls, not only phone calls, getting a letter in the mail. There's snail mail. We still do that. There's now text messaging. We do have communication devices that, like communication systems such as Class Dojo and all types of systems like that that has a connection with the parents. Now, if they are doing that, if the school is doing that, parents should know to answer the call, read those emails, go to back to school nights, go to parent teacher conferences, join the good old PTO. I always talk about the PTO. Everyone understands that because I adore the PTO.
Mhm.
I'm part of the PTO at one of the middle schools, and I actually loved it. And I also was part of it at one of the elementary schools. Join the PTO. That's the first step of getting involved. And when you do that, a lot of our schools have policies that you can go and talk to the principal. I know one of the middle schools at Benjamin Franklin Middle School, that's the one that my children did attend. You can go and write and talk to the principal there and have a conversation. Ask them about the literacy scores. Ask them about the new math curriculum. Ask the teachers about the WIN period. Ask them about band and instruments and everything like that. All these things are available already in our schools.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you're not asking those questions and if something happens that the school is not getting to you, things get lost. So if you're saying, well, I'm hearing this from one parent, how come I didn't get the information? Ask the question. Every teacher has an email.
Mhm.
Every single one has an email. Every principal in our schools have an email. Write an email. Ask for a meeting. So it's twofold to make sure that the administration has to reach out to the parents. The parents have to pick up that call, and that's how you get it together. And then like minds think alike. We have a lot of parents who are also educators too, and they have those very busy lives in their school systems. Collaborate on different things. That's how I started, and that's how a lot of us started, by just being present.
Anyone else?
Yeah, and I think with the communication, when you have lack of communication or transparency, that's when it erodes kind of the trust, and it kind of pushes the parents to get engaged. So communication, we have to meet the where they are. It seems like maybe it might sound radical, but hey, if parents can't make it during the week, we're meeting Saturday morning or Saturday
Mhm.
afternoon, where Probably the parents, maybe those parents that work late can probably come. We have to be kind of multifaceted,
Hmm.
creative to do the engagement. It's not the traditional way of, oh, you're not here at 3, so you're not engaged, and not understanding that that parent works late. So we got
Hmm.
to see them where they are and maybe constantly communicate and also ask questions. What is the best way to engage you? Like Seleene said, email. What is the best way? Do we call you? If we call you,
Hmm.
we're not gonna call you at 4 o'clock, but you're not home. What's the best to call you? If it would come down on, so it's important. The more communication the parents have, the more educated they are in regards to what's going on in the school, and those little things impact the kids that they bring in the district.
Just a quick point, just to piggyback on what Selena and Jose said. Just like how people are are differently learners, so we learn differently. As adults, we also receive information differently too. So just as I said, you should have multifaceted information, information going to parents different ways because they all get information or they see information differently.
Hmm.
Um, and just to add one more thing, this past last month, this was the first time we had a workshop sponsored by the Latino Institute. I believe that's the name of it. But it was the first time we ever had a workshop like this, and it was done both. It was bilingual workshop in Spanish and in English for parents, and it was well attended. So I think now our district is kind of getting the message to now we need to engage parents more, and
Hmm.
they're starting to include workshops both in Spanish and English. So this is, I think it's a start of better and more effective communications to come. Thanks.
That's a great point. So I have another comment. Audrey says offering SEL is beneficial when it comes to changing the culture in the school. Any comment on it? Okay. And then
Absolutely.
Javon Romney Rice says, be sure to share with Teaneck residents how important it is to have candidates who care about the students and not just about the money and ways to cut the budget. So that leads me to my question. So I've been like, I'm so enamored with the Terpsies, the Teaneck High School Terpsies, the Terpsichorean program, the dance thing that they have every year. So I don't live in Teaneck. I don't have any kids in Teaneck schools. So I don't have any real insider knowledge about how the arts programs are. However, we know nationwide arts programs are being cut. Students are not able to get, band and music classes like they used to. I think that the Terpsies is probably one of very few um, productions that are like such a long standing program. Um, how if elected, how are you going to make sure that Teaneck students are able to maintain or maybe have greater access to, cultural events, cultural education, the arts, I know Nadia earlier talked about vocational training, like the things that are outside of just textbook learning. How are you going to make sure that these things are able to either come to Teaneck or stay in Teaneck?
Well, I'll just take a quick stab at that. So
Hmm.
the arts, all of this is to me, it's a holistic way of learning. Like when I teach, I tell my kids, like, the analogy is, a squirrel can't swim, nor can a fish climb a tree. So I teach biology, and I said, listen, I know not everybody here is going to be A plus in biology. I would love everybody to be A plus, but at the same time, I have to understand that all kids excel differently. All kids are gifted different ways, and absolutely, all of our kids have deserved the right to uh, express themselves in arts and whatever subject they are gifted in. um, and I don't see the arts or sports as fluff. They're absolutely necessary for the success of our kids. So I would it says, and I believe that's part of being fiscally responsible, is to ensure that those programs are kept in part of in our school district. So that will be a top priority for us. As a matter of fact, I know right now we're trying to rectify that situation with this, but the field, what, it's not the soccer field, sorry, it's the baseball field. We're trying to rectify the situation with the baseball field because we don't know there was an issue with it. So now we heard it. Now it's our job to fix the problem. So we're working with the town to actively remediate whatever issues is going on with the field, because if it's important to our students, and we know it's important to their social, emotional learning, to their well-being. So that's why it's a priority for us.
Just to piggyback what Nadia was saying, well, first I want to say that Terpsichoreans are legendary, okay? And it has been legendary for many, many years. And if you haven't gotten a chance to go to one of the performances, it is an absolute must go. Also, there are so many different art programs in Teaneck. And if you don't know about them, please make sure you go into the Teaneck Public website and check them out. They have a wonderful arts program. In fact, when we did have a meeting with the superintendent, all the cadets actually, one of the administrators was just talking about all the wonderful arts and music programs that they have currently at Teaneck High School and also throughout the district. My son and my daughter both participated in the orchestra and the band, playing the trombone and the cello, and participated in that, receiving lessons starting in the 3rd grade all the way up to 12th grade. Now my son is in marching band and currently at a game in Newark right now, playing on the field, and also our boys are out there playing football, and we have our wonderful flag twirlers out there. So we have great programs out here in Teaneck. Also, with regards to the arts program, I mentioned that I sit on the state level as far as education, and I sit in front of a beautiful artwork by someone from Teaneck High School that entered in this wonderful contest, and we have Teaneck Public School students art all around the state building, and so in the New Jersey Department of Education building. So we have wonderful programs here, and we also have clubs there. So I can't talk about, because I'm not on the board yet, so I can't talk about what's cut in, on the budget. And hopefully these things never have to be cut, because that is, it's one of the proudest moments we have as Teaneck residents is our arts program and our sports programs, and also the wonderful clubs that the kids get to participate in. And if you go to the high school, there's a list of clubs I think on the 3rd floor, that you see all the wonderful clubs that the kids can participate in. So it's great opportunities there. So I encourage, if you're a parent of a teen high school student, or just make sure they're looking around and they're making sure they're going to one of those clubs, because the opportunity is there.
Yeah. I firmly believe that we have to have, if afforded the opportunity, gotta make sure that we fiscal responsible for the budget. But one of the things that we heavily got to look into is community, third party or community engagement, where we solicit grants to support. One of the ones that I was looking at a few weeks ago was, Seleene probably knows, it's a New Jersey Council of Art. They support grants, or they support schools and organizations that provide arts.
Yeah.
So I think the district, there's an opportunity there where the district is going to engage, and we talked about this in previous discussions, but engaging the community, there's a lot of grants out there. I don't even know if the district has a grant writer, but I think we have to start them early, younger. You build a base, and that way we can solicit more grants as that student grows into the different arts that they learn at.
Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. If you're watching and you have any questions, this is your time to go ahead and type them up in the chat so I can see them. I can't see all comments because I'm on 3 different platforms right now, but go ahead and type it up, and if I can get to it, I'll read it. But let's go ahead and have like this final question, or not even a question, it's more like a statement. I wish you all well in your race. And let the chips fall where they may. Like I said, I'm not endorsing anybody, but I wish you all well. Is there one thing that you want, as we close this out, your potential voters to know? Nadia, we'll go ahead and start with you since we started with you already.
Sure, absolutely. We are the best slate to vote for Teaneck, Hussein, Wong, Zenon. Our heart, and you know what? I'll be real. Working on the board since January, it's long hours, it's unpaid, but it is a labor of love, right? And if you don't love the kids in Teaneck, you don't mesh with the board, plain and simple. You have to love the kids, you have to love working for their benefit, and you have to know that it's an unpaid labor of love. And I think that's where all three of us fall in. We have a past history of action. We all take action for what's in the interest of Teaneck. I'm a PTO mom. I was a Girl Scout troop leader. I'm always involved in our community. Always get out the vote, getting out involved in voting, because I believe all of our voices are important. So I believe that's one thing that's unique to our candidates here on our slate is that all of us have a history of being a positive force in Teaneck and moving for positivity in all of our community for everybody. So that's why I know we're the team to vote for. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Seleene.
Yes. So everyone who's listening, Teaneck public school students need an educational system that believes in them. And you as the voter, you as the resident, you are the parents, you have the privilege and the right to vote for people like myself, like Nadia and Jose, to make sure that we believe in your children. And our job would be to make sure that a superintendent is aligned with our beliefs and our values and also believes in our students. So make sure you vote November 7th. Make sure you vote for column 2 for Hussein, Wong, and Zenon. Thank you.
Jose.
Yeah, I'll just sum it up like this. The slate represent the students that goes to Teaneck, the parents that goes to Teaneck. That we always talk about seat at the table. It's important that you have representation. And this is what you have. You have a diverse, our slate is a diverse of thought, experiences, like Nadia said, passion and perspective. But you have to have that perspective, the different, diverse perspective, because no matter what, we know what's best for, students that we've been advocating for the past few years in our community. And that's what we represent. We represent all of Teaneck. You have a diverse slate here, and I'm proud to say that I'm running with my other 2 slates, and I'm confident that we can do the job. And the most important part is if we allow the opportunity, is consensus, which is working with everyone, not only with us 3, but making sure that once we come in, because nothing get done unless we bring the coalition together to, move policy. So again, as Seleene said, column 2, early voting starts on Saturday, and then election day is Tuesday, November 7th, which is 6 to 8 p.m. So please go on our website or on our Facebook if you want to support. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you all for watching tonight. If you're watching and you think this was a good conversation, give me a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I sound like a Gen Z. Like and subscribe my channel, but like and subscribe and share this with your potential other Teaneck voters who need to be educated on the issues and need to get to know these candidates. Thank you, Seleene, Nadia, and Jose for joining me tonight. I really appreciate your time. And I thank you all for watching, and thank you for connecting with NJ Color as we connect you to the diversity of North Jersey. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.